Good morning, everyone. Welcome. We are continuing with our webinar series. Today, we are talking about unhealthy relationships, and this is geared more towards grades 1 through 3. I'm just going to briefly introduce the facilitators here, starting with me. So my name is Alicia Fisher. I'm the Prevention Education Supervisor from the Kawartha Sexual Assault Center. And we have another awesome facilitator here. If you want to introduce yourself, Leanne.
Hi, everybody. I'm Leanne Reed, and I work at Cornerstone Family Violence Prevention Center. Here, I am the Child and Youth Community Counselor.
Amazing. Okay, let's get launching the presentation here. Perfect. So as I said, we were talking about unhealthy relationships and healthy relationships for grades 1 through 3. So what we're going to be discussing and going over today is who we are, what our agencies do. We're going to talk about what is a relationship, what does it mean to have relationships with other people, other things. We're going to talk about boundaries and how that is really important in our lives. And then how good and bad relationships make us feel on the inside. And then we're going to talk about people that you can talk to if you want to talk about relationships. So just to briefly discuss who we are at our center, we go by KSAC a lot. And we are a center that supports people who have experienced some sort of harm in their lives. And it's very kind of private in nature, these types of harms that people experience. And so we support all genders at our center. We have opportunities where you can talk to someone about things that have happened to you, whether that's virtually, so online like this, or over the phone. We have texting as well as calling supports. In our center, we have a puppy. The name is Ludo, and a lot of people that come to our center like to pet and play with Ludo as a really kind of fun way to be calm and to relax. And so our center is located in Peterborough, but we serve the 4 counties of Kawartha Lakes, Haliburton, and Northumberland. There is another center that will sometimes join us, but not this morning. It's Neach Quinidad Anishinaabe Quawog Service Circle. So they are an Indigenous support resource that helps families. So they have like a Healthy Babies program. They have a youth program, programs for mothers and Indigenous healing and connections to spiritual practices, as well as Western medicine. So it's a really holistic approach to healing that this center offers. And they are located in Peterborough as well, but they serve the Kawartha Lakes and Durham and Haliburton. So a large area as well.
Like I was saying, I'm Leanne from Cornerstone. So Cornerstone is an agency that works throughout Northumberland County, and it works with individuals, families, children around creating safe and healthy relationships, which is what we're going to be talking about today. We offer counseling services, individual and group, education prevention services. So we go into schools as well and talk about healthy relationships, similar to what we're doing today. And we also have a shelter space that families can utilize if things are really unsafe or unhealthy at home.
Amazing. So what is a relationship? Maybe some of you have heard this word before, maybe some of you haven't. But if you're an educator watching the playback, maybe you can take this time to talk about this with your class and see what kind of words come up when they think of the word relationship. Who is involved in a relationship? Where do relationships happen and why? So as a definition, a relationship is about how people are connected to others and the world around us. So relationships can look like a lot of different things. It can look like a relationship that we have with our family and our extended family members, our caregivers, our siblings. It could be a relationship with our classmates and our teacher. It could be a relationship with our friends, maybe other members in our class or maybe different classes, right? A relationship can also be with our pets. So I know that I've talked to a lot of folks around this region, and there's always a debate over who has how many dogs and who has how many cats. The relationship we have with our pets can be really, really important and can make us feel pretty happy, right? We can also have a relationship virtually or online, kind of like what we're doing right now, where we're talking to you folks through Zoom in this case, or maybe through YouTube. So there could be a relationship that we have with our phones and our laptops. There can also be a relationship that we have with our sports teams that we're on and the clubs that we are a part of, right? With our coaches and our teammates. There can also be a relationship to spiritual things or religion. Some people say God or Muhammad, a variety of people who can kind of give you guidance and hope, right? And then there can also be relationships to people who help us. So people like doctors or counselors, someone that we talk to about things that we're feeling, right? The importance of mental health and making ourselves feel good. We could be talking to counselors. Leanne, did you have anything to add about relationships in our lives?
I think relationships can have completely different levels, right? You might be very close to your friends at school, your parents. You might see a counselor and share lots of information. And then some relationships are just with people you know. So the level of closeness or what you're sharing with someone that you know is going to differ.
Definitely. And the thing with these relationships is that sometimes relationships can make us feel good and sometimes they can make us feel sad, right? Sometimes with our family, maybe our parents don't allow us to go see a certain movie, or doesn't allow us to go see our friends because it's dinner time. And sometimes, that can make us feel a little bit upset. But relationships are changing a lot, right? And there's a lot of different things that are really, really important to a relationship that we go into whether it's healthy or unhealthy. So we're going to be talking about that in a bit. But let's hear what other kids are saying about relationships and what relationships mean to them.
Having a connection or a bond with someone else, whether it be a family member, a friend, or a lover, then it can be used, or even to God or something like that. It can be used in loads of different ways. Like, I would say I have a good relationship with my dad because we do stuff together. But I would also say I have a good relationship with God because I talk to him, I go to church and stuff. So it can be with anyone or anything, I think.
Relationship means when you're really in a close friendship with someone else, like with your friends or with your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your friends, someone like that.
Relationship makes me feel like the happiest person in the world. I'm so glad that I'm related to my mum, my dad, my sister, even though my sister can be quite nice, my cousins, my friends. They're really, really nice, and they're friends.
You can have a relationship with an animal or a human, or sometimes people can have relationships with plants. Because with animals, you need to take care of them. With dogs, take them for walks, you have to feed your animals. And with plants, you also need to feed them water, you need to give them sunshine. So that's basically having a relationship with your plant or humans if they're ill.
Your relationship is something you have, it's like a strong kind of link you have with a person. So if you have a relationship with your parents, you know them. The relationship is they're your mother and your father, and you're their son. The relationship you have with a dog, I'm your owner of my dog. The relationship you have with your wife, I'm your wife and my husband. A relationship you have with your instrument, you're the instrument, I'm the owner, yeah.
Sometimes in your life, maybe your friends, you can get into a really big argument, and with my friends, they just completely forget about it when the day's over. They're just like, one day you're arguing your head off, and the next day you're just like, yeah, high five. And that's a good thing, definitely a good thing.
Friendship, where it means close relationship. Even though you do break up with them sometimes, you always get back together because that's how close you are. And family, you can't really break up with them, so you're always with them. So that's what a relationship I've been in.
Sometimes when you're angry with somebody, maybe you think, oh, I hate you, or oh, I never want to be with you. But that's not true, because you're just angry with them, so you think bad thoughts. I know I do that, and it's really, really bad. And it's just really horrible. And relationships, though, you can never stop them, and it helps you so much if you're related. That's what relationship is to me.
All right. Whoop, come on. We've already seen this. There we go. So now we're going to go into talking about unhealthy relationships versus healthy relationships. And Leanne, you want to take it away here?
Yes. So I like that video a lot, because at the end it talks about how when you can be angry at someone, it's different than being in an unhealthy relationship. So it's very normal to fight and disagree in a relationship. But what we're going to be looking at is unhealthy relationships versus healthy relationships. And that differs. So fighting is normal, but how you bicker or fight is what we're going to look at. Okay. So let's dive in. So these are some healthy relationships behaviors. I need to click this slide. Okay, perfect. So the first one is being yourself. This is where you feel comfortable around the person you have a relationship with. Your relationship could be with your friends, your relatives, a teacher perhaps. You do not feel pressure to change who you are. The next one is honesty. So this is where you feel comfortable talking about things in the relationships. This includes problems or disagreements or concerns that you might have. Good communication. So you feel comfortable talking to your friends about things, telling your friends your ideas you have for play, or telling them when your feelings are hurt. You also listen to your friends talk and share their opinions, even if you don't agree with them. Respect. This is a big one. So this is where you treat others how you would like to be treated, and others are treating you that way as well. It's important to treat yourself with respect too when you're in a relationship, and being able to say no to things that make you feel uncomfortable. Feeling unsafe. So if you feel unsafe in any way, this is a really big sign that you're not in a healthy relationship. So feeling safe is both an emotional and a physical process. It's important to know in a healthy relationship, a person won't try to hurt your feelings or won't try to hurt your body. Trust. So trust is about being able to count on someone. It's about believing that someone will be honest with you and follow through on their promises. When you trust someone, you know that they'll support you and look out for you. And the last one here is equality. So equality keeps relationships safe and even and fair. So for example, being equal in a relationship means not bossing each other around and taking turns deciding what you're going to do.
Yeah, that taking turns is really good, because sometimes, you know, we really want to watch a certain movie and maybe our friend wants to watch another movie instead, or another TV show. So kind of like that taking turns, that equality is really important. Like I like that teeter-totter example.
Absolutely. We're going to look at some unhealthy behaviors. So signs that your relationship's not healthy. So the first one is physical abuse. Okay, so this is where a person may push you, hit you, or destroy your things. Okay, if they're doing that, you're not in a healthy relationship. The next one is control. So this is where a person might tell you what to do, what to wear, or even who to hang out with, what to eat, any of those things. It's another really big sign you're not in a healthy relationship. Humiliation. This is where they call you names or put you down or make you feel really bad in front of other people. They might do this in a group setting or call you out in the middle of class. Again, this is another sign that this isn't okay, that you're in an unhealthy relationship. And the last one here is pressure. So they push you to do things you don't want to do. They might not take no for an answer, and they may call you names or threaten you if you do not want to do or do what they want you to do. So they might even threaten their friendship. So if you don't do this, I'm not going to hang out with you, or I'm not going to be your friend anymore. Okay, this is again, these are all really big flags of being in an unhealthy relationship. So sometimes it can be hard to tell if what is happening is healthy or not. So here are some questions to ask yourself if you aren't sure if a relationship is good or not. So do you feel good about yourself when you are around the person? Do you act like yourself? Do you have any, sometimes our body tells us things aren't right. Our guts will tell us things aren't right. Are you feeling good? Are you feeling good around a person? Jokes can be fun, but if jokes are upsetting you or hurting you, that's another indicator that things might not be okay. Do they treat you differently when around certain people? So are they really nice to you when no one's around? And do they make fun of you when other people are around? It's another sign. Are you only doing what they want to do? Again, we talked about equality when in a healthy relationship. So in an unhealthy relationship, it can look like someone is just being the boss. You only get to do what your friend tells you or wants to do. And do they control things? Again, are they controlling what you do, where you go, how you dress, what you eat, classes, where you sit in classes? If that is happening, again, these are signs of unhealthy relationship.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm just going to go back to a couple of these. You know, when you're talking about being yourself, when you're talking about good communication and honesty and respect, how does that make you feel? And so that feeling is typically connected to a good relationship, right? So if you're being yourself, you can feel free, you can feel silly, you can feel like you can do anything, right? Versus if we go to the unhealthy side of things and control, and someone's controlling you and saying that you can't be yourself because I want you to do these things, how does that make you feel on the other side, right? So if someone's physically hurting you, controlling you, making fun of you, or pressuring you, how is that going to feel? And I think it's really important to listen to the inside of our bodies and where we might feel that. You know, we could feel that in our stomach. We might feel like butterflies in our stomach saying, ooh, this is a little uncomfortable. This isn't making me feel good. We might feel that in our hearts, and our hearts might be pounding. We might feel it on our skin. We might feel warm. We might feel sweaty, or maybe we feel it in our head where we just kind of go, uh-oh, right? So it's important to think about what those feelings are on the inside and to really listen to your body. Leanne, did you have anything to add to that point?
No, I think that's a great point. Is listening to our bodies, for sure. Yeah, they can tell you a lot of things our bodies can't.
Yeah. And so who can you talk to about relationships, especially when those relationships are not making you feel so good, right? So if you're feeling a little uncomfortable, you're feeling that pressure, you're feeling that control, who can you talk to? So we have a couple different resources here. So one of them is maybe if this is happening in the school, you could talk to your teacher, you could talk to the principal, you could talk to a support staff that's in your classroom, maybe a guidance counselor if you have a guidance counselor at your school. So you could talk to people at your school and they can help you out. If it's something that maybe you like to talk to your family about, maybe talking to your family members. So your parents, your caregivers, maybe having conversations with your siblings could be something that you could do. You could also talk to your friends, but with people like your friends and your siblings, sometimes it's really important to get a trusted adult involved, as you know, we may feel super comfortable talking to our friends about things that aren't making us happy, but just know that a trusted adult is here to help you and that they can help you with those problems, right? And sometimes those unhealthy relationships are with adults that we should be trusting. So knowing that there's a lot of different kinds of adults in our lives can be really important. So to continue on, you could talk to nurses, doctors. If you're seeing a doctor, you could talk to them about how you're feeling. If you're seeing a counselor, or you're talking to someone about how you're feeling, like a therapist or counselor, that could be someone that you could talk to. There's also anonymous help. So these are people who work with trusted agencies that don't know your mom and dad, they don't know your teacher, they don't know your friends. So Kids Helpline and Kids Help Phone is a phone number that you can call, and they can give you advice and talk to you about how you're feeling and can help you. If you're looking for Indigenous resources and supports, you could also talk to your elders in your community. But there's also a thing called Talk for Healing, and that's for Indigenous and Aboriginal individuals, and that's a talk line across Canada, and I mentioned friends. Leanne, did you happen to think of any other people that you can talk to?
No, I think you hit most of them. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Sometimes people have like, oh, there's this person. I'm like, I didn't even think of that one. So yeah, so a lot of different people in your life, and know that sometimes unhealthy relationships happen with people that we really love and care about, but know that there are a variety of people that you can talk to if you're in an unhealthy relationship, or maybe even if you're in a healthy relationship, to talk about the good and the bad feelings. So what did we learn as an overview? We learned that our relationships are our connections to other people, other pets, and other things, right? And that those relationships in our lives are really, really important. As human beings, we do really well when we're connected to people, right? Or connected to other things. I know that when I wake up in the morning and my cat comes and says hellos to me by meowing, she doesn't actually say hello, that can feel really, really good, right? And so that's a relationship that I have with my cat in the morning. But also, you know, seeing my siblings in the morning and as we sit and have breakfast, like that can be a really good feeling. And so those connections that we have with other people can be really important. Leanne, did you want to have anything to add or carry on with the next couple points?
I think they are really important. And your next point here is they can make us feel good and bad. And I think you really hit the nail on the head talking about listening to your body, looking for some themes that we talked about, but also listening to your body, whether you're feeling good, really feeling bad. I often point to the upper half of your body. If your shoulders or chest are sinking in versus comfortable and relaxed, just paying attention to those cues.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which kind of hits on the next point, that our feelings are important, right? And that it's really important that we listen to how we're feeling in a variety of different situations, right? If something on the inside is telling us that, ooh, this doesn't feel good, we really need to listen to that, right? And I know Leanne talked about people making jokes, and you know how jokes can be hurtful. And what if you tell your friend, hey, like that's not that funny, And that's really good communication, and your friend stops. Like, that's hopefully what your friend would do, because they trust you and they respect you, right? But if those jokes continue, then that is kind of where we cross the line of things not being so good, right? Because they're not listening to you and they're not respecting you. So our feelings are really important. And it's important to talk to someone if you don't feel happy, or especially if you don't feel safe, right? So if we're in certain situations with especially adults that should be trusted, and they're not respecting us and they're not making us feel good, and they're making us do things that we may not want to do, it's really important to talk to someone else. And if that person doesn't believe you, talk to another person who will believe you, right? And so you deserve to be believed, you deserve to be listened to, and people deserve to respect you, and you deserve respect, right? And so it's really important that if we're not feeling respected, that we talk to people about it. And sometimes the first person we talk to may not listen to you. So be sure to talk to other people. If something inside your body is saying, this isn't feeling good, make sure you're talking to people. Leanne, did you have anything to add to that? No. Okay. So if you are an educator, we would appreciate if you could fill out the survey that was attached in the schedule that was sent to you over email. And with our centers, we have a variety of supports. So with the Kawartha Sexual Assault Center, we have 3 24/7 crisis lines of support, whether that's through phone, text, or our web chat via our website. Now, you don't have to be in crisis to access those supports. We do offer accompaniment and advocacy. So if you're an educator and you would like a member of our team to come to your school, whether this is to do a presentation or to talk to someone who has brought up a harm that's happened to them, we can provide that support. Leanne, did you want to talk a little bit more about Cornerstone and some of the supports that you provide?
Absolutely. So we do also have a 24/7 support line available. It is confidential. You provide only the information you want to give. And that's the number at the bottom here, 905-372-0746. We also do, we've started a web chat that's also confidential. So you can get that through cornerstonenorthumberland.ca/connect. So it's a web chat. You'd be connected to a counselor immediately, and you can begin chatting online, as well as text that is connected to the Cornerstone Connect app with that number there, 289-210-4774. I think it's really important to know that Cornerstone's policy here is our door is always the right door. If you have any questions about anything to do with this subject or relationships or basically anything, if we're not the right service, we will connect you to the right service. So feel free to connect with us at any time.
Perfect. And if you're interested in Indigenous supports, now this is more of a youth group opportunity that's happening every Monday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. with Meet Quinadat. You can get connected to Shannon, who runs these programs every Monday. And there's a variety of opportunities here from knowledge keepers, grandfather teaching, beading, and shaker making. So a variety of opportunities there if you're interested with Meet Quinadat. We want to thank you all for tuning in today, and thank you so much, Leanne, for providing your knowledge and supports here.
Thank you for having me.
Have a great day.
Take care.